Tempus Studios presents Redemption.
A play written, produced and directed by Anthony Murphy-Jones.
Typical. I'm late for work and it's raining. At least Matt can't dock my pay, seeing as I'm a volunteer for his homeless shelter. Fortunately, the streets aren't too busy at this time of night. As expected, there's Bud, manning the door, waiting to help all the lost souls enter the shelter. Thanks, Bud. Looks like it's going to be a real wet one tonight.
Damn right, Mrs. Shepherd.
You know you can call me Helen. I'm not anyone special.
Sure thing, Mrs. Shepherd.
You're a good man, Bud. The shelter is packed tonight, no doubt due to the weather. As usual, it is chaos in the kitchen. I hang up my coat and make my way over to the counter. I immediately see Matt standing proudly amongst his small army of workers, calmly directing them through their duties. Hey Matt, sorry I'm late.
Oh, no worries, Helen. I'm just glad you could make it. Look, we're running a bit short tonight, so would you mind helping out Sally with the potatoes?
Of course. The chaos continues for the next hour or so, but then it slowly starts to die down as the last of the stragglers enter the shelter. By now, I've joined Matt and two other volunteers on the counter, handing out bread rolls to go with their stew. As each of the homeless goes by, I can't help but check out their faces. Although all look lost and hungry, neither of them are the one I'm looking for. Will I ever find him? As I look out across the room, I noticed a hunched figure I hadn't seen before creep in and make his way to the far corner. Matt?
Yep.
Are you okay to cover me? I just want to make sure that the new guy over there is okay.
Oh, of course. Here's some stew. You may be hungry.
Thanks. I take the bowl from Matt and grab a small roll to go with it. Carefully, I weave my way through the tables, making my way over to the figure. Hi. I thought that you might like some stew. Are you hungry? The figure slowly turns, looks up at me. The streetlight catches the side of his face, just so, and I'm taken aback by this young man's angelic beauty. Sun-kissed skin with the barest hint of a beard is framed by long golden hair that spills out from under his hood. But it is his piercing sky-blue eyes staring back at me that affects me the most, as I can clearly see his pain being held back. I suddenly find myself seated as he slowly reaches out and takes the bowl in both hands.
Thank you.
I brought you a spoon.
Thanks.
He takes it from me and starts to eat. I can't help but watch him, and I suddenly realise that it's getting a bit awkward. So, what's your name? He looks at me, and his eyes darken before turning away and looking out of the window. I realise that I've made him uncomfortable, and so I get up. It's okay, I understand.
Rowley.
I stop, and I see a single tear run down Rowley's cheek. I try and think of something to say, but all that comes out is, My name's Helen. I'll be here if you need me. I make my way back to Matt at the counter. My mind is a jumble. Why am I affected so much by this young man? It's not like I haven't seen the lost and destitute before. But there's something about him. Something personal. Hey, Matt.
Yeah, you okay?
That guy over there. He calls himself Rowley. Do you know anything about him?
Not much. Started coming here about the same time as you started. Surprised you haven't noticed him before. Wait, no, you wouldn't have. You only work the night shift. Well, he's usually here during the day. To think of it, I think this may be the first time I've seen him here this late. I always wondered where he went during the night. The guy's really shy. He doesn't talk much. He must have taken a real shine to you if he told you his name. Took me 3 weeks to get it out of him. All I know is that he's haunted by something bad. Some terrible incident must have happened to him. Poor kid.
I turn to look at Rowley's hunched figure, lost in his thoughts as he looks out of the window. Yeah, poor kid. I didn't see Rowley for the next 4 nights. According to Matt, he hadn't come in during the day either. I asked around, but the regulars weren't that much help. Not surprising, really. They all have their own lives to live, most preferring solitude. But on the 5th night, Rowley appeared, seated at the same table, looking out of the window. So I grab a small bread roll and make my way over. Are you hungry? Rowley turns and looks at me. I mean, really looks at me. Those amazing blue eyes feel like they're peering into my soul. I feel almost naked under that gaze. And then the feeling's gone as he takes the bread roll from me. What is it about him?
Thank you.
Do you mind if I sit here?
No.
We both sit here a while, looking out the window. Occasionally, I look across and watch Rowley take small bites out of the roll.
You are married, Mrs. Shepherd.
I'm sorry, what?
I said that you are married.
How do you know that? No one here knows.
You have the look of someone who knows love.
I'm alarmed. I've always kept my private life secret. Rowley smiles a warm smile and points to my hand.
I saw the ring imprint on your wedding finger when you handed me the bread. I assume that you remove it each night. You know, when you work here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you.
No, I'm the one who's sorry. You're just stating what you saw and naturally drew a conclusion. You're right. I am married, but I haven't seen my husband in a long time.
What happened?
Aren't I supposed to be asking you that question?
Sometimes people forget it's not just the homeless who get lost.
Why would a complete stranger care about me?
I hear that each night you come out here selfishly to help those who are lost and alone. All of them, complete strangers. You offer them a home. You listen to their cares and worries. Yet, you have no one to listen to yours.
As he speaks, I feel a rush of suppressed emotions rise up, and I try desperately to hold back my tears. My husband, he left about 3 years ago after something terrible happened. It broke our relationship. I was willing to get help, to see someone, but it was too much for him. One day he went out and he never came back.
Is that why you are out here? Hoping to find your husband?
Yes. Why? Do you know where he is? Rowdy slowly shakes his head and looks away from me.
The tragedy that tore you two apart. What was it?
It's very personal. And although it's been a long time, look, I appreciate your wish to help, but it's still very fresh to me.
I understand. I'm sorry if I've distressed you.
I nod through my tears and look out of the window, trying to control my feelings. I briefly notice Rowley standing up and looking down at me before walking away, but all I can see are my lost memories.
Over the following 3 days, I watched the sparkle go out from Helen's eyes. She no longer laughs or joins in with the banter. Something was said between her and Rowley, and it's clearly affected her. Rowley still comes in, but Helen always finds a reason to stay in the kitchens. Tonight, for the first time, I notice Helen watching Rowley as he enters the shelter. She seems to have decided on something, but appears to be struggling with it. How are you holding up?
Oh, hi, Matt. I'm fine.
Hey, it's not like me to interfere. Okay, maybe it is, but it seems to me that you and Rowley need to sort a few things out. Since your talk, I've stopped laughing. Did he say anything, I don't know, offensive to you? We can have him removed if...
No, not at all. He just made me remember something important.
Again, she looks over at Rowley. I put my arm onto her shoulders and gently push her forward. Then I suggest you go talk to him.
Thanks. I will. I put a well-worn photograph of a laughing young boy wearing a Yankees baseball cap onto the table in front of Rowley. His name was Justin. He'd be 14 by now. Rowley looked at the photograph for a while before picking it up and passing it back to me.
You looked very happy.
Yes, he was. My husband Jeff he was driving home after picking up Justin from school. The two of them were playing around as they usually did, and Jeff must have lost. I grab a tissue from my jacket pocket and wipe the tears from my eyes. Oh God, it's been so long since I've talked about this. As I try to compose myself, Rowley leans over and places his hand onto my shoulder. I feel a calmness from his presence. I take a breath. There was another car. It came from nowhere. Jeff didn't see. He knew that he should have been paying more attention. They collided. Jeff, he survived with a minor concussion, a broken arm and some fractured ribs. The other driver, he didn't survive. They found my baby boy on the pavement. He had been thrown. Oh God. I feel Rowley's gentle squeeze, and without thinking, I grab him in a hug. I cry heavily into his shoulder. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to let it get to me. I haven't spoken to anyone about this.
It's okay.
Jeff kept blaming himself. We'd get into arguments, stupid ones really, over the most trivial things. One day, he said goodbye and he was gone. I thought he'd return, you know? I thought he'd gone out to sort his head out, but a week quickly turned into a month, which became 2. And I soon realised that he wasn't going to come home. I decided then to come out and look for him. I tried all the usual haunts, but I couldn't find anything. Then, one evening, on TV, I saw a programme about charities for the homeless, how they came from all walks of life. It dawned on me that Jeff may have become one of them. So I signed up to as many local shelters as I could to volunteer myself. And, well, I've been searching ever since.
I'd like to help.
Why?
I need to. I mean, I know these streets. I know these people.
I look at Rowley for a moment. For some reason, my story has affected him deeply. I can see that somehow his pain is shared by mine. Maybe he too is looking for something. For a split second, I could swear that I saw his eyes sparkle. Was that hope I saw? Maybe he can help. Why not? And true to his word, Rowley asked everyone he could. Tirelessly, he patrolled the streets and hidden alleyways, searching for any clue that could lead to my Jeff. I had no idea that the city was so big. In the 3 years of my search, I hadn't even covered half of the ground that Rowley managed to do in just a few weeks. There's a hidden city buried deep beneath the one I grew up in. And yet, even in these horrific conditions, the people have found a way to survive. There is a strong community here, and they clearly know and trust Rowley. They all want to help me. In their eyes, I see recognition and a need to believe. But as the weeks go by, I start to fear that our search is in vain. Rowley refuses to believe this, even though I can see the same fear in his eyes.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry, bud. Let me help you. I need to see Helen. Where is she?
She's over by the counter.
Excuse me! Coming through! Helen!
Rowley?
I think I found someone who's seen Jeff!
Oi! Get to the back of the line, you thieving shit!
There's a girl I know. She said she's seen a man calling himself Jeff.
What? Where?
I said, get back to...
Quiet! Down Mercer Street. But I need you to come now.
Go. We can survive without you for a few hours.
I all but tear off my apron in my rush to follow Rowley, and I hear Matt laugh at my clumsiness as I race out of the shelter. I soon find out that Mercer Street is one of the many forgotten alleyways of this city. Everywhere is strewn with bits of debris, deteriorating cardboard and waste. Amongst the detritus, I see a number of homeless trying to make their own shelter from the cold and rain. With me in tow, Rowley weaves his way through the bodies until we stand before a piece of corrugated steel leaning against the wall with an old blanket hanging over an entrance, creating a makeshift door.
Gwen! Gwen!
What? Oh, hey, Rowley.
A young girl who couldn't be older than 14 pulls back the blanket. I'm appalled by her appearance. Her eyes are sunken and bloodshot. On her arm are a number of fresh bruises. A particularly nasty one resides around her neck. Her dirt-encrusted clothes are also torn, revealing pale, bruised skin beneath.
Gwen, what happened?
The usual. Troy and Spitz.
What did they want?
Same as you. That guy you were asking about, Jeff, weren't it?
She looks at me with eyes that no longer care.
This her?
Yeah. Look, do you know why they were after him?
Fucked if I know.
Where did you see him?
Who? Jeff? Down near Larry's. But you better be quick. Troy and Spitz looked pretty pissed.
Damn it!
Rowley grabs my hand and a small static charge shoots at my arm.
Come on! We've gotta run! Larry's over there. So Jeff's gotta be somewhere around here.
I'm too out of breath to reply. It's been a while since I did any running. Instead, I look around and realise that Larry's is an old greasy spoon cafe that has been closed for some time. Graffiti adorns the walls and there are panels of metal mesh covering the windows. The street is empty except for a few parked cars, but judging by the state of them, they've been parked for quite some time. Even the streetlights are losing a battle, providing small sporadic patches of light against the looming darkness.
Yeah! Down there!
Any feelings of fatigue suddenly vanish as we both sprint towards a small side alley next to Larry's. It's narrow and very dark, though I can just make out the shapes of a couple of large dumpsters sitting against the building. Next to one dumpster, I can see two silhouettes viciously attack something lying prone on the floor.
I'll teach you, you little shit. No one screws with me, you hear?
Get away from him!
Rowley! Rowley collides into the two attackers and all three fall behind one of the dumpsters. I don't know what to do. I've never seen this kind of violence happen in front of me before, and I freeze. The prone figure slowly staggers to its feet and tries to kick out.
Screw you!
That voice! I know it! I've heard it every night in my dreams. Jeff? Jeff!
Shit, he's not alone. Helen?
Oh God, Jeff! It's you! It's really you!
Oh God, Helen. I've given up ever seeing you again. I'm so ashamed.
I couldn't believe that I was finally holding Jeff. I had wished for this moment for so long that I daren't let go of him in case he disappeared again. Rowley's moan of pain brings me back to reality and I reluctantly pull away from Jeff's strong embrace. Looking around, I see a curled up figure lying behind the dumpster. Rowley? Rowley! I rush over and gently turn Rowley over. He is clasping his stomach tightly and is clearly in a lot of pain. I try to carefully pull his arm away, but he holds fast. I look at my fingers, and they are covered in his blood. Rowley? You're bleeding!
It really hurts.
I quickly take off my jacket and try to push it between Rowley's arms to staunch the blood. I mean, isn't that what they do on the TV? The clouds break, and moonlight floods the alleyway in a pale light.
I don't know what to say. You saved my life and brought my wife. No. No, it can't be.
Jeff?
I know that face. It's him.
Who?
I saw you die.
What? I never died.
Not you, him. He's the driver, Helen. He killed Justin. I saw you die.
No. The whole world collapses in an instant. My heart drops. Something grabs my arm, and I look down and see Rowley holding me.
He's right. I killed your son.
But you're here, alive.
I was given a chance at redemption to save what I had destroyed. I should have paid more attention. Not Jeff.
Rowley?
I'm so sorry, Helen. Forgive.
I can't move. I can't think. I realise that I'm in shock, but I don't care. I look down at Rowley's dead eyes, his dark blood slowly dripping from his lips. I can't control my tears, and they start to pour freely. I feel Jeff's grip on my shoulder.
Helen.
He was my friend.
Come on.
In my dazed state, I watched Jeff reach down and try to pry Rowley's hand off my arm.
What the hell?
Suddenly, Rowley's skin starts to glow with a shimmering golden light. At first, it starts as gentle sparkles, but quickly grows into strong shards of light that burn through Rowley's skin. His hand lets go of my arm, and I quickly scramble back. The golden light rapidly consumes Rowley's body. The light becomes so intense that I have to shield my eyes with my arm. A moment later, the light dies. Rowley's body is no longer there. Not even his clothes. It's as if he never existed. What just happened?
I don't know. Let's get out of here. Come on, let's go home.
Hearing Jeff say that he wants to go home, our home, together, catches me, and I turn to face him. For the first time, I see him properly. My beautiful Jeff is covered in cuts and sores, all coated in dirt. His clothes are torn and filthy, and I feel the pain he must be in. Yes, let's go home. As we walk out of the alleyway and under a working streetlight, I stop and look back at where Rowley died. Goodbye, Rowley, my friend.
You have been listening to Redemption,
a Tempus Studios production.
based on a short story written by Anthony Murphy Jones, starring Anastasia Skerrett as Helen, Josh Portillo as Rowley, Hal Dimond as Matt, Amanda Sapanda as Gwen, Max Darke as Jeff and Spitz, Michael Rogers as Bud and Troy, and Anthony Murphy Jones as the homeless man. The music was composed by Arne Anderson and White Sand. Redemption was written, produced and directed by Anthony Murphy Jones.